It all started with a bark. Not just any bark, a sharp, urgent, almost desperate sound that echoed through the quiet halls of Maplewood Pines nursing home like an alarm. Officer Daniel Brooks knew his partner, Max, a German Shepherd K9 trained in search and rescue, wasn't one to bark without reason. But on that cool, overcast morning, as they visited the nursing home for a routine therapy session, Max's instincts led them into something no one expected. Maplewood Pines had always been a peaceful place. Nestled on the edge of a sleepy town in Vermont, the facility was home to aging souls with fading memories and quiet routines. But behind its friendly staff, vintage wallpaper, and scent of lavender and old books, it was also a place with secrets. And that day, Max was about to uncover one. It happened when Max suddenly froze in the hallway near the west wing, just past room 23. His nose pressed low to the baseboard, tail rigid. Then came the bark. Sharp. Repeating. Daniel watched as Max began pawing furiously at the wall behind a faded bookcase tucked away in the corner. "Easy, boy," Daniel said, kneeling beside him. His fingers traced the outline of the wall. Something felt off. The wallpaper had bubbled slightly, and there was a faint draft. With help from the staff, they moved the bookcase, revealing a narrow wooden panel, sealed shut with old nails and years of dust. When maintenance pried it open, what they found was not just a room, but a time capsule. The air inside was thick and cold. A single cot, a small desk covered in yellowed papers, a lamp, and dozens of old photographs lined the hidden walls. Everything was coated in layers of dust, as if frozen in time. But what truly silenced the room was what lay on the cot, a frail, skeletal figure, still in faded pajamas, resting as if asleep. The police were called. The medical examiner arrived. And soon, the mystery unraveled like a thread from an old quilt, revealing a story that had been waiting for someone to remember. Her name was Margaret Holloway. She had been a resident at Maplewood Pines in 2012. A quiet woman, no known family, no frequent visitors. Records showed she had dementia and would sometimes wander off during the night. One day, she simply vanished. Staff searched. Police were notified. But after weeks of investigation and no clues, she was declared missing. Some assumed she had walked into the woods and perished. Others believed she may have found a way to leave the facility altogether. But now they knew the truth. Margaret had never left. She had found this forgotten storage room, perhaps during one of her wandering episodes, and somehow become trapped. The old door, impossible to open from the inside, had sealed her fate. Her cries for help, if any, were swallowed by the thick walls. And no one thought to search behind the bookcase in that quiet hallway. The staff was devastated. Many were new and had no memory of Margaret. But one person did. Helen Moore, 87, the oldest resident in the home, remembered Margaret vividly. When she heard about the discovery, she wept. "She was my best friend here," Helen said, her voice trembling. "She used to talk about her son, how she lost him in a car accident. She never got over it. Sometimes at night, she said she could still hear his laughter down the halls." Helen's words touched everyone. And they brought forward a powerful realization: even in places filled with people, someone can still feel utterly alone. Officer Daniel, shaken by what they found, requested permission to investigate further. He pored over old records, spoke to retired staff, and pieced together the missing fragments of Margaret's story. Her son, it turned out, had indeed died in a car crash in the late 90s. After his death, she spiraled into depression. With no family left, she eventually moved into Maplewood Pines, her only companion the photo of her boy she carried in her locket. As Daniel studied the photographs found in the secret room, one caught his attention, a young boy, grinning in front of a red bicycle. The back of the photo was labeled in shaky handwriting, "Michael. My sunshine." Daniel found that same photo, decades older, in Helen's room. She gave it to me, Helen whispered. Said if anything happened to her, I should keep him smiling. The community came together after that. The nursing home built a small memorial garden in Margaret's name. A bench was placed under an old oak tree with a plaque that read, "In memory of those forgotten but never unloved." Max, the K-9 who had uncovered the hidden room, was awarded a local hero's medal. But for Daniel, the true reward was something deeper. This wasn't just about solving a mystery, he said at the town gathering. It was about remembering the importance of presence, of checking in, listening, paying attention to those we often overlook. Margaret didn't die because people were cruel. She died because no one noticed. Let's make sure that never happens again. The story of Margaret Holloway touched the nation after it made the news. Letters poured in from people who had lost loved ones to dementia, strangers who regretted not spending enough time with their aging parents, and even former staff who expressed sorrow and shock. But the strongest message came not from those who wrote, but from what was learned. Sometimes, the deepest secrets lie not in darkness, but in silence. And sometimes, all it takes to uncover them, is a bark. The end.